All right, everyone, a recap of last 48 hours sexual assault allegations. This time it's totally legacy media. Teddy Davis of CNN, a correspondent there, sort of one of the semi-hard-hitting figures of CNN. And then Matt Lauer, one of the top figures of NBC, one of the all-time, modern pundits. They have both been let go of respectively from their jobs. Now, look at how things have morphed. At first, the hey, this person gropes everything that moves, this person like rapes people, like a Cosby style or Weinstein stuff was relegated to Hollywood. And it's gone past that. Then it goes to DC. Surprisingly, hits DC next, and now finally hitting the media. I said yesterday that probably it would be funny when CNN had its fresh wave of allegations. And of course now, Teddy Davis, only a few hours later, actually, this was reported, I think, late yesterday, becomes the first victim there, you could say, victim of the tidal wave of allegations. Now, as always, of course, we can't necessarily say, well, in Teddy Davis' case, it's true or untrue. In Matt Lauer's case, though, we can, because he's come out and admitted, he's like, sorry, there's enough truth to these claims. One of the claims was he sent like a sex toy to a coworker along with a note. He's like, oh, I want to use this on you, and was giving like suggestive things to people and stuff like that. So it's just, kind of, that's more on the creepy, harassment end. But apparently like to, in one person's words, pinch people's asses a little bit too much, and it was an annoyance. And, and then Geraldo comes out to defend Lauer, says, well, yeah, but the workplace is in news, it's a flirty environment. Okay, Geraldo, we know you talked about, like, banging thousands of women and stuff. Okay, we know. But you gotta understand that the cultural sensitivity towards a flirty workplace environment has changed, number one. And number two, I don't think there was ever a time where it was considered acceptable to give a sex toy to one of your co-workers and say, hey, I want to use this on you, unless you're already like dating with them, unless there's a mutual attraction involved. Then it's like, who fucking cares, do what you want to do. This was apparently like unsolicited. And the funny thing is, in all of these cases, nobody has spoken up before. It's like nobody ever said anything. I think there was one offhand reference someone made in an interview years ago about Matt Lauer being kind of, he's the pervy stuff. Yeah, back then maybe being kind of on the pervy side was okay, but again, things were also more moralistic around sexual conduct. So while maybe the harassment side was more accepted, I don't know that extended. Can you imagine some dude in the 50s newsroom with his investigator's jacket and his fucking fedora on? He's like, man, see, I'm gonna give you this gift, man. And she opens it up. She's like, oh, thank you, sir. And it's like dildo or something. I don't think that happened much. I'm pretty sure that's an elaborate mythology that Geraldo Rivera is attempting to spin. But Geraldo's like that. Like he gets weird because before, with the Fox allegations and stuff, it was pointed out at the time, and it's been, I think I referenced this like a week ago or something in regards to one of these other cases. There's so many of them, it's hard to tell at this point which one you were talking about when you said anything in particular. Other than Cosby, that's the most self-explanatory of all. But the Geraldo is one of those people that maybe he would defend, maybe he wouldn't defend. He'd either be like total moralist, well, I can't defend this and I'm no longer friends with the person, or he'd say, well, yeah, this is wrong, but, it's not that bad, come on, folks, back off. And he chose to do the latter with Lauer. I never knew that they were particularly strong friends. Like, Geraldo works for Fox, even though he's kind of slightly left-leaning on some things. Lauer, by the way, and Davis are both neoliberals. It seems that, once again, it's like the Trump curse. These people who do not like Trump are propagandists. I mean, NBC, CNN, it's self-explanatory. They are the ones that are getting nailed by these things. Since the Weinstein event, it's almost all been people who have been part of that neoliberal establishment. And don't read into it a partisan line like, oh, it's all Democrats. No, there are some neocons certainly, I'm sure, that do the same thing. You know, of course, Bill O'Reilly was one, but he's a neocon. It's the same thing as a neoliberal. It's just he happens to vote for the establishmentarians that are part of the Republican corporation instead of the Democratic one. It's like a false choice. It's a false dichotomy. That's basically what it boils down to. So I'm not surprised. And it'll keep going on, too. It's obviously, like, more people in the media had to have been doing this stuff. You'll probably get more actors and stuff. One thing that's begun being pointed out is, isn't it strange that no females are being said to have harassed people? Part of that, I think, is ultimately cultural. Like, if you have a female boss who's harassing her male employees or something, number one, they might be reluctant to say anything because it's like they'll feel it's emasculating or something. Another thing is maybe they like it, maybe they honestly don't fucking care. And so they're like, yeah, I don't care if she grabs my ass when she walks by. I like it. I like the attention. I think that happens sometimes too. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are female bosses and stuff, you know, CEOs or whatever, that do this same sort of thing. But they get away with it because, you know, nobody's ever going to say anything. Some of them, honestly, they don't care. The dudes are like, yeah, it's pretty good. Of course, you know, I think on that end it's more cultural. The thing is, we have had a cultural shift. For a long time, people always said, well, you know, these Holly weirdos and, you know, the politicians, they must be, like, rapacious and harass people and stuff. And they sort of knew, but they didn't want to openly acknowledge it, I think, because they thought that nothing could be done about it. Well, you know, there's politicians that have so many millions of dollars. They're rich and powerful. They can do whatever they want and they can get away with it. And we're seeing that sort of facade of invincibility, I think, crumble away. And that's really what's becoming responsible for this. People who are, you know, Weinstein, how many hundreds of millions of dollars did he have? And he gets taken down. Once somebody like a Cosby or a Weinstein is evidently capable of succumbing to that, it becomes a lot easier with someone like a Teddy Davis, somebody who's on a slightly lower influential rung. That's about all. Peace out.